Recorded. It's Your Life is sponsored by James J.C. Cooley.
Life is a series of circles and cycles, phases and stages. These are your experiences that teach you the lessons of life. You can either ignore them or embrace them. Welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. James is a motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the James Cooley Foundation. James is here to equip you to strive for greatness and to overcome adversity. It's time to get equipped today for the challenges of tomorrow. Now, here's the host of It's Your Life, James Cooley.
Hello, welcome to It's Your Life. I'm James Cooley, and I tell you, this is one of those wow days where we have absolutely fantastic guests that are here to educate our listening audience on things, I believe, that are going to make their lives better, and things that I believe is a lesson learned, and we have to learn in order for us to be better at anything that we do. I believe that's all about education, understanding, focus, and most of the time I like to say vision, understanding, and focus, because you have to have a vision that if you want to achieve or attain or be able to do certain things, that you have to have the right mindset and focus. And I believe that these two absolutely fantastic guests that we have on tonight is going to be able to educate our listening audience on some of the things that they are doing that are also enlightened them in what they're doing, and how we can also have an understanding on what we can do financially, what we can do mentally, what we can do physically, to make sure that we put all those things together so we can be prosperous in everything that we do. So, Michelle, you know exactly what I'm talking about. How you doing today?
Doing great. Happy Tuesday. I'm excited about the show tonight. The purpose and the mission of this great company, which these two guests will talk about, is basically to help and educate for people to be financially independent and to have an understanding of the markets, the stock markets, and just to basically be in control of their own financial future, and also to accumulate generational wealth.
Wow. I tell you that I believe that it's all about being in charge of your destiny, but it also requires a lot of destinations that we all have to start on, because destinations, I believe, that is just a pivoting point of where we need to go. And, so you just heard from my great co-host, who's also here with me, and as you already know, she's also my wife and my business partner in everything that I do. And wow, it's always nice to have a business partner that you believe in, that you trust, and that, well, I would say you lay side by side with, and you make decisions together based on what your destination is and your destiny is at the time. But also, I got this absolutely fantastic producer. His name is Noah Dingley, and this guy is so fantastic. Probably one of the best talk show hosts. Also, absolutely no question about, one of the best producers on record. He has his own show, own podcast, all of these great things, and he produced the James Cooley Show. So, Noah, I haven't talked to you today, but how you doing, my friend?
Oh, I don't want to answer the question. I just want to hear you just pile on the accolades. No, seriously, I'm doing okay. Doing okay. It's Tuesday. Just got off of celebrating Martin Luther King Day and looking forward to another great show tonight.
Wow, we celebrated Martin Luther King Day yesterday. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. And, Noah, as you know, that there are always going to be differences in the way that people think or maybe how
that's America.
That's America. But there is no differences in that we want to be able to make America better for everybody. And let me tell you, my friend, we got these two absolutely fantastic guests.
Yeah, this is a multiple wow show, according to you, buddy.
Well, I already gave it 3 wows, and Noah, if I go past 1 wow or 2 wows,
they're good people.
They're great folks, and I want to get this thing started because Noah, tonight's show is primarily me and you. I want you to know that because Michelle is she's gonna have to step aside tonight because she's.
You didn't tell me that in advance, so it'll only cost you a plate of short ribs down the future.
Well, we're gonna make sure that happens. But I want to get this show started, and our listening audience, wherever you at in the world, wherever you at, whether you listen to Facebook, whether you listen to YouTube, whether you listen to the live show on all of these different platforms. If you want to be part of the conversation, that's 1-888-344-1170. Again, what is it, Michelle?
1-888-344-1170.
Michelle and Noah, I want to get this thing started. Michelle, can you tell our listening audience what the title of tonight's show is?
Yes, the title of tonight's show is The Profit Room, educating on how to understand and profit from the stock market.
Okay, so can you tell our listener what the purpose of tonight's show is?
The purpose of tonight's show is getting to know the backgrounds of Ernest Curry and Latoya Smith, founders of The Profit Room, discuss how The Profit Room educates on how to understand and profit from the stock market, talk about what day trading is and how the Profit Room differentiates from other traditional financial institutions, and discuss the importance of generational wealth.
And Noah, before we even start this, and I know we only got 3 minutes before we got to do the first break, but I want our listening audience to know a little bit about both of these absolutely fantastic guests. So, Michelle, can you introduce both of these guests? Not that we're going to ask them any questions in this segment, but we'll pick it up in the next one. But I want our listening audience to know who we're talking to.
Yes. Our first guest is Ernest Curry. Ernest's career started out in skilled labor right out of high school while working for his family's heating and air conditioning business. He then landed a job with a well-known company, which was almost like hitting the lottery. Many people never left this company once they started and worked until retirement because of the abundance of pay. In 2008, during the financial crash, Ernest took it upon himself to take classes on reading the financial papers and sought out mentorship from a Wall Street hedge fund manager to understand the stock market. Ernest eventually left his job and dedicated himself full-time to the stock market and gap trading. Finding high probability swing trade setups, he focuses on maximizing the best possible entries and exits within each trade. Besides being a full-time active trader with over 13 years experience, Ernest is the visionary behind constructing the Profit Room's educational materials. Latoya Smith. In 2006, Latoya started an investment club with a group of friends. While she was able to make trades that matched her income from an investment banking career, she absolutely fell in love with the stock market. Latoya holds a Bachelor of Science degree with a concentration in finance. With 6 years of corporate finance experience, Smith has worked with top institutions like Investors Bank and Trust, State Street, and Deutsche Bank. Working as a business analyst manager, she learned the process, structure, and the various instruments investments offered through the industry. Upon shifting her career plan in 2012, Smith began to focus on pursuing her passion for the stock market full-time. She is well known for her charting techniques and pattern recognition, enabling her to profit in all markets. With over 14 years of investing and trading experience, Latoya's goal is to help more people achieve financial freedom the same way she did. In 2016, she co-founded the Profit Room, LLC. She provides mentorship and hands-on live training in the stocks, forex, and futures market as a way for others to achieve generational wealth.
Wow. Hey, Noah, just like I said, I wanted to introduce these two absolutely fantastic guests to our listeners. But we're going to take a station break. But when we get back, we're really going to delve off into what makes the profit room, and learn a little bit about both of these two outstanding guests. If you want to be part of the conversation, that's 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. It's your life. We'll be back shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity. Coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show. It's Your Life.
She
And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet. Sorry, we just going one each, or
no.
Going Success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream.
Or maybe three. You got one. We're going to do it like, I'm going to maintain most of the conversation.
By James Cooley.
So, I got three, you got two.
You got three, I got two, okay.
Yes, so I'm going to maintain most of the conversation.
That was started in October of 2014.
Will not be back.
The J.C. Cooley Foundation continues to strive.
Okay. Hey, and you don't have to say it on air, but if you want to, great. We've had a couple of people call, I think just plugged in somewhere along one of your platforms, and then they call and they say they just want to listen and they don't want to go on air, and I have to turn them away because we have to make sure we keep the lines open for actual calls that want to ask a question.
Have them to listen live, on the Listen Live, and I'm going to say that again. You're going to have a lot of people that do that, and we just have to figure out how that can be. I don't want to accept any questions in this next segment.
What I'm saying is they can listen on any of your platforms, any of your streams or whatever, but they can't just hang on the phone.
Systems
and I get that.
Difference in the lives
and
of
I'm
the
going to
youth in
mention
our
that.
You can give online.
No questions or whatever that might be.
Remember that every donation makes a difference, regardless of size. The J.C. Cooley Foundation.
No, that's fine, but just also put it out there. Maybe not to confuse people. So,
got it.
Come back. Say we're going to be taking questions in the following segment, and then when we start off that following segment, tell people to only call if they have a question. They can't just call on the phone to sit and hold.
Okay. So
learn lessons to educate, encourage, and enlighten our next generation of leaders and heroes. Get your copy of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James J.C. Cooley, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
And then you ask Latoya the next two, then let's pick it up from there.
What if you could make one free phone call?
Just text me as I'm asking Latoya. Then just text me what you want to do from that point.
Okay, gotcha.
Call Select Quote Life.
Hey, thanks so much.
For example,
you got him, buddy.
All right.
From other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure.
Also,
but when
I'm in Atlanta next week.
I found him a 10-year, $500,000
I really need to chat with you and see if I can do a couple of shows early.
I'm Select Quote
on the
agent
27th, 28th.
And believe me, if Select Quote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much. For a free quote, call 8.
I can tell you right now, on the 27th, I already have an interview scheduled with Danger Man at 3:30. And then on the 28th, as of right now, I'm free, but we just got to see if the studios are conducive with Kevin. But
okay, let me know what potential time that you might have on the 27th. Because it doesn't have to be at 3
AM 1170. The answer.
We'll talk.
It's time to dream big, think big, and be big. It's time for more It's Your Life. Now, here's your host, James Cooley.
Hello, welcome back to It's Your Life. I'm James Cooley, and I tell you, we're talking to two absolutely fantastic guests. And what we're talking about tonight is the profit room. And one of the things that I want to know about, and I mean, I've been in the game for quite some time, maybe not like these two fantastic guests are, but I know the game. And we're going to talk about the profit room, educating on how to understand profits from a stock market perspective and also from an individual or a concept perspective. And so we got Ernest Curry here that we're going to be talking to shortly. And we also got Latoya. Latoya and Latoya Smith is her name. And I tell you, they have created, I believe, something that is so intriguing that regardless where you're at, where your mind is at, that you need to have an understanding of how to create what we call generational wealth. And generational wealth starts with previous you, current you, and future you. So we're going to get off into that. And no, I tell you, our listening audience, if you want to be part of this great conversation, that's 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. I want to start off with Ernest. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, how you doing, James?
Man,
thanks for having us.
Well, come on, man. We have to talk about these things because we're talking about generational wealth. We're talking about how people can get a better understanding of investments, how that they could also have a foresight and vision on to be able to get past not just today, but have a future for tomorrow. So, Ernest, can you please tell our listening audience where you grew up and who was your role models that shaped you into being the person that you are today and the things that you're doing?
Well, my name is Ernest Curry. I'm from a city in New Jersey called East Orange, New Jersey, which is borderline Newark. Everybody knows Newark. So in my city, I grew up right around the corner from Queen Latifah, Lauren Hill, Naughty by Nature, Redman, that whole era right then and there. Like, that's where I'm definitely from. One of my biggest, I'm still in New Jersey, not too far, born and raised. One of my biggest influences was my father. My father is an entrepreneur. Your wife mentioned earlier in the show, we have an air conditioning, heating, and cooling business, right? So since I was a baby born, he was self-employed. Same thing with my uncle. He had a construction business, skilled labor. So from a young age, even though I grew up in the urban enterprise area, I was surrounded by entrepreneurship and skilled laborers and working, things of that nature. So that kind of built me up to where I'm in now. Everything I went from young man to adulthood, I had to really work for, right? I was taught the skills needed to use your brain in order to see things be, created and put together. So that's one of I always say one of my biggest influences like that. Hard work and developing a skill in order to be able to feed yourself.
Wow. Ernest, you stated in your bio that you learned about the business and the financial industry through a hedge fund trader, and that you reached out to that individual and asked him to teach you what it takes to be a trader or to learn about the business. Can 1 minute or less, can you tell our listeners a little bit about that?
So what happens with me as a worker, like a lot of people, truck drivers, servicemen, I'm in a work van all day. And what happens, what do? I'm a reader. I will read the paper every single day. So reading the paper every day, I saw the news, economic crash, things dropping, right? Back then, there's no cell phones, there's no Facebooks to look at, there's not a lot of social media. So as I'm reading the paper, I really don't understand what I'm looking at, right? I see these things on the front page. So what I started to do was take these little night classes, $30, $40 at high schools. And I realized it was all about, retirement accounts, things of that nature. I was the youngest person there. I just wanted to understand how to read the financial pages. I'm a person that, even though I'm reading a book, I want to be coached. I want to be taught. So it got to a point where I started learning and progressing on my own. Then I got the opportunity to meet a young lady from South Africa who worked for a hedge fund, right? She retired from a hedge fund, and what we call nowadays, what I am, she's an off-the-floor trader. She's a professional trader on her own. And I said, listen, I'm learning and I'm picking up these things. I really am into this. I want to learn how to trade. And she said, well, if you want to learn how to trade, of course, you have to pay me, right? Because I'm paying for a coach, like a personal trainer. And I got that opportunity to spend over like 4 years being coached from small to advanced things throughout my career. And it was like one of the most amazing things because now, especially being from our race, right, being black as well, it helped me even more because she can see where I come from. She can see my background, and that developed me into the trader that I am. So it just went from this wanting and the hunger for this understanding, and then actually finding a coach who can actually explain it to me based upon how I grew up and how my personality and who could relate directly to me.
Wow.
And that was like life-changing for me.
That is life-changing. It is always nice to have a mentor or coach that able to give you insight on things that we reach out and we do now.
Yep. Amazing.
Yes.
Well, Ernest, that's awesome. I'd like to turn to Latoya right now. This is producer Noah. Latoya, maybe you could tell us where you grew up and how did your particular upbringing contribute to the person that you have become today?
Hello, everyone. Well, my name is Latoya Smith, and I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts. And it's an interesting question when asked, like, who was my role model then? And the only thing I can really say that I was surrounded
4 minutes
at that time during my upbringing, of course, is my parents. And I just knew the way we was brought up. My parents were they're West Indian, and we were brought up basically hard work all the time. It was always about school. It was always about education. So I just knew no matter what I was going to do in life, it was going to take, I had to be educated in order to succeed. That was pretty much my mindset at that point in time for me.
Now, Latoya, what about your work in corporate America? I know you worked in the financial services industry, and I also have produced for a number of years a financial talk show, and so I've gained a lot of insight, but I'm curious on what it was like to actually work in the industry for corporate America. Tell us about that before the break.
All right. Well, the industry was quite interesting, and one of the reasons why I chose finance, because during the time when I was in high school, I was thinking about all the professions, and I just knew I wanted to make money. And none of the other professions that I could think of at the time, like doctor, nurse, or any of those other professions, I did not have the passion or interest for, if that makes sense. So I chose finance, and I chose to focus.
2 minutes.
So when I went to college, I went to a state college, and I majored in finance. So the whole goal was, once I graduated, I wanted to put my degree to work. So I started to seek jobs within the financial field, and my first job ended up being with the actual mutual fund company. They no longer exist because they were bought out back in like 2000, and I believe it was 7, if my memory serves me correct. Might have been much earlier. But to work in finance, corporate, you really get an understanding of how, I like to say, the world works, how all those moving parts work when it comes to the backbone of the economy, like that driving force. I got to see a lot when it comes to the securities, the savings side of investing, a lot of the different professions within that field. So let's say compliance or legal, or you have your fund advisors, you have your portfolio managers. I got to see all those professions working on basically the same common goal, and it was quite interesting to actually see that.
Wow.
It's incredible.
It is incredible. And Noah, I know we got a minute or so before the break, but I want to take the break right now because when we come back, we really going to delve off into the profit room and get a better understanding of both of these absolutely fantastic guests. And, I want to know exactly what they're doing, how that what they're doing can help advance others, and just get a little bit better understanding of what their vision is. If you want to be part of this conversation, that's 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. It's your life. I'm James Cooley. We'll be back shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity. Coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
There is much truth in a journey that ain't
Noah,
as all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take over pretty much most of this.
Time.
I will let you know when
I'm James Cooley, host of the James Cooley
chime
Show.
in,
It's
but
your life. And
I gotta really get an understanding
of my book, Country Boy, City Boy,
what they do,
ain't over yet. You can
regulations,
join me as I share my true life story,
security,
and success in America.
because we don't want to be caught blindsided.
A roadmap to achieve
like we were
the American dream.
Not too long ago.
Listen to
if that makes any sense.
No, I don't know what you mean as far as blindsided goes.
Well,
it's not
what I mean by
Country Boy,
and I hope you got me turned down, that we have people that might have not knew what they were talking about,
you to refuse to become
and
a victim of life.
putting stuff out there, and we can't do that.
You're talking about the guest, right?
Yes. I ain't talking about. I'm talking about previous guests. Guests.
Yeah.
And you know, me and you had that conversation.
I thought you were talking about me. I'm like, I kind of...
No. Oh, come on, man. No. I listen to your guy on Saturday mornings and Sunday, whether you know that or not. I've been doing that for the last 2-3 years.
Wow, that's early, because he's on early.
Yes.
I guess it's not early for you, because the time zone's a little different.
Yes,
so.
but I've been listening to that guy for the last 2-3 years, bro.
Now, when you said previous guest, I made the connection.
No,
so I know. I'm not naming names, but I already know what you're talking about.
Yes. So you know where I'm going with that one.
Yep.
And you already know.
I'll just stand by my phone. So if you want me to chime in, you let me know, and I'll
okay.
I'll listen intently. So I'll have a question at the ready.
And you also know the best in the business. Michelle is coaching me, and she's close by.
It's a good resource to have.
But she don't need to be on there.
Yep.
All right, man. Sorry about
books
that.
are sold.
How much time we got before?
Why Relief Factor is so successful.
45 seconds.
Okay.
I'm often asked that question. Pete and Seth Talbot, the father and son founders of Relief Factor, tell me they believe our bodies were designed to heal. The doctors who formulated Relief Factor selected the 4 best ingredients, 100% drug-free ingredients that each help your body deal with inflammation. Order the 3-week quick start now. Discount it to only $19.95 to see if it will work for you too. Call 800-500-8384. ReliefFactor.com.
Dennis Prager votes on substance.
President Trump was not deemed as an individually nice person. He did not act nice often. That is absolutely correct. However, he was a great president. And since I elect presidents, not nice people, that's all that mattered to me. People don't know how to assess leaders. They really don't.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 9 on FM 96.1 North County and AM 1170 San Diego. The Answer. The Answer San Diego. Streaming now on smart speakers and Odyssey.com.
It's time to dream big, think big, and be big. It's time for more It's Your Life. Now, here's your host, James Cooley.
Hello, welcome back to It's Your Life. I'm James Cooley, and I tell you, I believe that we got 2 absolutely fantastic guests that's going to educate us on a lot of things that they're doing to enhance a lot of lives. And primarily, it's having a vision and dreaming and having an understanding that just because we have $1 today, that dollar is going to be there tomorrow without us doing anything with it. Because where I'm from in the South, if you have $1, you have $2, you have $3, and a lot of times we say in the South that, boy, That dollar, that $2 is burning your pocket. You want to get rid of it. I believe that it requires us to have vision, understanding, and focus. Where if we got $3, put two of them away, and hopefully you put them away with processes that's going to grow that over a period of time, because investment is what we call it, and it's all about profit. I believe it's all about having a vision and understanding of being able to make a profit on things that you're doing, making a profit on your job, making a profit on your business. If you're not making a profit, you're in the wrong business. And we are talking about the profit room tonight. And we got Ernest and we got Latoya that are educating us, and they're getting ready to tell us what the profit room really means and how that can help benefit us. And if you want to be part of this conversation, that's 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. Wow. You know, I want to start off with Latoya or Ernest. It doesn't matter. Can you tell us about the background of the profit room and what motivated you both to start this great initiative? Let's start off with you, Ernest.
Okay, so it's actually a unique, funny story. I was one of the last persons to get like an iPhone. I had a BlackBerry, right? Like, I'm talking about late in the game, 2013, 14. So when I went to the store, the guy gave me an iPhone, and he said, "Hey, bro," because I'm not on social media like that. I'm skilled labor. I'm doing my thing. The gentleman said, "Hey, man, I'm going to put this app on your phone. You're going to love it. It's called Instagram." I said, "Instagram?" Anyway, so he put the app on my phone, and on there, you know, I call myself like the live day trader, things like that, right? I just had a name for myself. And what I would do once I started going on this app, and I'm like so new to it, I see all these conversations about trading and investing, and I'm like, oh man, like people are actually believing this stuff. Like, it was a lot of commentary that I knew that wasn't beneficial for people, in my opinion. So what I started doing, I would just take my little 15-second phone and I would record myself placing live trades. And I would it was 15 seconds at the time, and in 15 seconds, I would show myself getting in and out of trades. I'm giving recaps, things of that nature. So I started getting a little bit of following. Then also, that's how Latoya found me. And she messaged me, said, "Hey, you trade just like me." I was like, okay. So we just started communicating a little bit more. And then we started trading together over Skype. So as a trader, when you're trading, it's a lonely world. When you trade for a profession or for income, because it's just you against the market. And you're kind of by yourself when you're really doing it. So finding somebody, especially of color, right? And I didn't know anybody like that. You know, I was like, okay. And we had similar styles of trading. So we started developing different styles. It's almost like how you have recipes for everybody, for you guys to understand. Many people make different types of sweet potato pie, right? They got different ingredients. The same thing with traders. Once you start looking at the market and looking at different charts, you can start developing different techniques and patterns that repeat, that can benefit you and be profitable.
Wow.
So we started linking up that way, and eventually the people said, "Hey, do you guys teach? Do you guys teach?" Because we kept tagging each other. And we was like, "No, we don't teach. We just trade together." And then after a while, we decided, listen, you know, if we're going to teach, we have to put something together that nobody's actually doing.
Ernest, hold that thought. We're gonna get to those. I don't want to put everything out at this particular time.
My bad. I'm sorry. I could go around them. We got to slow it down.
So we gonna get to all those things. Latoya, can you tell our listening audience what the mission of the profit room. What is a profit room?
All right. Well, it's pretty much a broad term, as in the profit room. When Ernest came up with the actual name, I love the vision he had for it, where we're not necessarily boxed into just being stock market trading and educational company, strictly focused on the markets or something like that, where we have the ability, because of the name, where we can get into other avenues if we deem fit, as long as it, educating people and something that people ultimately need. So I just wanted to start there with that. But our mission currently is basically to educate people so they can have the knowledge and the ability to be financially independent through the means of either trading or investing in the various financial markets as a way to potentially build generational wealth. That knowledge alone we feel is very important to be able to pass on to your offspring, or let's say you don't have offspring, your brother, your sister, your auntie, your cousin, it doesn't matter. It's just that the information alone that we see how not only it changed Ernest and myself's lives, but how it changed our student lives in general, that it's just something that transcends and is definitely beneficial, because when we look at, what's in front of us, what's out there in the media, and we go back through history, we see where the stock market benefited other people, especially other people that have been invested years and years, and we can see how their generations benefited from just understanding how investments in the stock market work.
Wow, and that's important. Latoya, can you just tell us real quickly how you and Ernest teamed up and decided that you are going to work together on this great mission?
Well, to be quite frank, I don't think it was by chance, if that makes any sense. I think it was actually destiny, because of the way how it happened and the company we actually developed and the lives we were able to impact. I don't think anything was like by chance. It's like we were destined to do this, if it makes sense. That's the only really thing I can really say, because it wasn't like I left my job in 2012 to become a professional trader. I had a vision of starting a stock market educational company. I did not have that vision. My vision was basically, I'm going to be a professional trader. I'm going to make money. I call it closet money. Therefore, I don't have to answer to no boss. I can give myself a raise if I want to give myself a raise. I can not trade if I don't feel like trading. I can travel whenever I want, because I'm I'm guiding and leading my own direction and making money in the market. That was my very basic short-term vision, and still being able to produce for my family. So with the meeting Ernest and creating this company, I think that was destiny in the path that pretty much unfolded in front of my face.
Wow. This is so fascinating. I think we got a call. We got Debbie from Atlanta. Debbie, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How you doing? Welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. How you doing? I'm
doing fine. I listening to the show, and I just have a question for the guest. I'm a single mother of 3, and I live with a fixed income. The children are in high school, so I do want to make money and to be financially successful, but how would you deal with people who are on a fixed budget and trading and using their money to go into the stock market if they don't have enough money to do that? What advice would you give them?
Well,
2 minutes.
Our main goal is to give people consciousness of what's going on in the market. So that's very, very important. I would suggest, if you don't have the finances at this point, just to be conscious. So let me give you an example. Even our students who come and get educated with us, they all do simulation first. They use what they call play money. There's a lot of brokers out here that'll give you fake money in order to practice. Before you develop skills on your own so you can make the decisions on your own after you get the education in order to place a trade. One thing I would like to tell you, the stock market is
1 minute
not anywhere. It's been here over 200 years, right? So I would put myself in a situation where, like, there's apps like the CNBC app. Make sure you have that. Any type of news, focus on that. There's a lot of brokers who we can talk about as well, like TD Ameritrade is a great broker. You don't need money to fund that account. You can fund that account for free, and they'll give you practice money, right? So that's our big thing. Our whole goal is to get you conscious of what's going on in the market, right? So once you get a form of education as much as you can to understand, learn the terminology, right? Now, what we suggest when you decide that you can save up to invest in yourself,
yes,
right? Now you get to understand a lot more.
Ernest, we got to take a station break. We got to take a station break.
Okay.
But we're going to come back, and we are going to continue to dive into a lot more of these questions, but we got to keep the answers a little bit short because there's so much I want to talk about. And I tell you, listener audience, if you want to be part of this conversation, that's 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. It's your life. I'm James Collier. We'll be back shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity. Coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley. The J.C. Cooley Foundation is a nonprofit organization that was started in October of 2014. The J.C. Cooley Foundation continues to strive to expand its programs and offerings to the youth, young adults, and citizens of our great communities nationwide and overseas. We hope that you'll be able to take part in one or more of the many exciting events that we are offering this year and experience firsthand the pride we take in supporting our cause. It's our mission to equip the youth of today.
Yeah.
I'm going to take over this one because
generosity of individuals and business owners for support. Without the assistance of community-minded individuals just like you, we wouldn't be able to serve our youth each year. We ask that you make a commitment to support our annual appeal by making a cash donation. This year's goal is $50,000. Your generosity will assist us in making a difference in the lives of the youth in our community. You can give online at CooleyFoundation.com.
I got this from here on out.
Every donation makes a difference regardless of size. The J.C. Cooley Foundation thanks you in advance for your contribution.
Country Boy, City Boy, a journey that ain't over yet. The true life coming of age story by James J.C. Cooley. Using humor, wit, and engaging storytelling, James paints a picture about his arrival.
When you come back, you're going to have 8 minutes.
About his struggle to adjust from city life to country life and back again, sharing his hard-earned lessons. Courage and enlighten the next generation of leaders and heroes. Get your copy of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James J.C. Cooley, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
We're not going to be talking about day trading.
We can make your bathroom shine right on price, right on time. Miramar Kitchen and Bath.
The Miramar Kitchen and Bath family places the safety of your family as a top priority. All their employees follow the CDC guidance as they continue to conduct business. They're here to help you achieve your remodel dreams. Simply call and they'll start a consultation about your project. If it's something they can help you with, they'll discuss the next steps. If not, they'll point you in the direction that might help. Send an email. A picture's worth 1,000 words. If you send them photos of your space, they'll tell you what options they have for your project, or make an appointment to visit their design center. They'll safely practice social distancing while helping you with your project. Call Miramar Kitchen and Bath at 858-271-8434 or send an email to info@miramarkitchenandbath.com or Google to visit their website. Contractors license 657333.
Miramar Kitchen and Bath.
Streaming now at theanswersandiego.com and Odyssey.com.
It's time to dream big, think big, and be big. It's time for more It's Your Life. Now, here's your host, James Cooley.
Hello, welcome back to It's Your Life. I'm James Cooley, and I tell y'all, we got these absolutely fantastic guests just talking about the profit room and how you can generate wealth for future generations to come. And they're telling us how they go about doing things, and they got these classes and they got this material that's out to help you understand a lot of great things out there. I want to try to delve into all of these things. We only got about 9 minutes before the show ends, so our answers cannot be extremely long. But one of the first things I want to ask is, Latoya, you mentioned securities, you worked in the business, and you understand that there are regulations and rules, especially when it comes to investments and financial and stocks. And we off into that as well, Shell and I. So, Latoya, can you tell us for security licenses or in those type of things, or you guys are licensed to do what you all are doing because we have SEC and FINRA? I'm just asking a question. I don't mean to put you guys on the spot, but that's just how it is. So Latoya, can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. That's a great question. So we do provide our disclaimers all over our website, or even if someone asks us. We are not licensed investment advisors, so we're very specific with the terms, and registered with FINRA as well. We are not registered with FINRA. Those are very specific for broker-dealers or investment advisors that basically invest clients' money. We do not invest clients' money at all. So that's basically how we are able to comply with the rules and regulations that are set forth by the SEC as well as FINRA.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and can I jump in on that a little bit too?
Absolutely,
James?
absolutely.
So, and the SEC knows who we are. We have conversations with them before. So we are in compliance with that. That's one thing people got to remember. We're education, right? So when we get to a point where we are at this point, like what we're doing, we have background checks, things of that nature. And one of the great things we're able to do, we get floor traders that come to us for education. We have plenty of them that came from the CME group. We get a lot of people with different series and other qualifications that want further education, so, but that's one thing that we primarily focus on is just all education. But when you do get to a status that we're always in communications, and we're above board with a lot of things like that. So that's right. It's whoever people get education from, that's the best thing for them to do, is always do your research and always look, because we can't get on platforms where we are on if we're not in compliance.
Well, keep in mind that I understand exactly what you guys are saying, but no compliance and supervision is extremely well, and that's why I asked that question, not to put anybody on the spot. But I had to put that out because that's what we are, and we understand those regulations quite well. One of the things I want to talk about is everybody need to have an understanding of what it's like, what the material, and just to get a better understanding where they can trade and learn the game and investment. You guys create material, you guys teach, you guys are doing a magnificent job of doing these things. Can you tell our listening audience how they can get in touch with you all and get some of the material and learn how it is in order for them to be able to invest? And that's you, Ernest, real quickly, 1 minute or less.
Okay, so you can go to a website we have, StockKeys, KEYZ.com. That's a free training that we have. StockKEYZ.com. You get a free ebook. It's called The Keys to Stock Market Success, and it's a free webinar. Listen, it has jam-packed with a lot of information. And a thing I wanted to mention to the young lady last time, there's apps like Stash App, Acorn, where she can start buying partial shares of a company, even if she doesn't have a lot of income. But we go over that in that as well, in that webinar. So StockKEYZ.com. You get a free webinar, ebook. You get to learn a lot.
Wow. That's absolutely fantastic information. What areas do the profit room, because I believe that what you guys are doing is so important that you want to expand and you want our listening audience to know about, because you have to start somewhere. Latoya, 1 minute or less. Can you explain that?
Where we want to like to see the growth and expansion? That would be with our young adult division, definitely young adult division. We want to focus more on the young adults and get more the kids involved, only because we understand, just coming from inner city school system, the education, we know the basics of finance they don't teach, right? Much less stocks, options, and what to do when you actually make money so your money can grow, beat inflation and all of that stuff. So we're focusing now on just building out our young adult division. That way we can educate the kids absolutely for free. So that's one of our missions currently.
Wow. You guys are 2 minutes. One of a kind. And we less than 2 minutes in the show. Being African American owned, black owned, does that put a lot of pressure? Because it shouldn't. But you know how American is sometimes. This or that. How do we get the word out that it doesn't matter of the color or the skin or whatever? You need to be investing in stock market and everything. 30 seconds or less. Ernest, can you help me?
So I look at it like this. When you open up a brokerage account, right, they don't care what socioeconomic you came from. They don't Google your address. They don't know if you're in a single household parent.
1 minute.
They don't care. They just want you to fill out an application and get your money. All of these brokers. So it's an even playing field. It's you versus the market. So they want your money. So why should you not be investing? Because you're missing out on the world economy and how you can generate extra income. And this is one way we can fast track to make at least a good extra 30% on our income a year, and just teach this to our generations as we go down. So there's no reason why we should not be investing into form a market. And especially us as minorities, we keep risk management as a priority. And that's what we focus on as well, the profit room.
I totally 1,000,000% agree with you. And I'm going to say this. We as minorities, sometimes we don't understand the value of investment. These two great people are absolutely fantastic. I want to thank Ernest and Latoya for coming on, taking the time to talk to us about investment. I'd like to thank my great co-host, Michelle Cooley. I'd like to thank my great producer, Noah Dingler. Most importantly, I'd like to thank our listener audience for always tuning in. We're always looking for sponsors, so continue to bring this great message. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. It's your life. I'm James Cooley.
Man, I've turned you into the micro machines guy, man. I taught you well.
Man, yes, you have. Man, these guys are so
Now, you can support the show or
and
become a guest. Visit CooleyFoundation.org. Join James weekdays at the same time for more motivation and inspiration to help you become equipped today for the challenges of tomorrow. This has been the James Cooley Show. It's your life, where you learn how to dream big, think big.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you, I got to get back to these.
A lot of people just... Yeah, go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead on, say that.
I was just going to say that a lot of people just think that they can do it themselves and not get any, advice from somebody that does it professionally. And while that might work in the short term, long term, you're going to hit some type of a pitfall, and it's going to slap you upside the head.
And a lot of times that's how it is because people don't understand that
we stand for three core
in order
values:
to invest,
honor,
you have
integrity,
to
and
understand
loyalty.
the game.
I respectfully ask the opportunity to let us serve your automotive needs and promise that our dealership will do our very best
so I
to
tell you,
provide not only the best customer service,
let me get back to them, and I'll talk to you in a minute.
We're a veteran-owned dealer that...
All right, buddy.
All right.
Because...
Michelle, turn it up, please.
All right, hold on. Hello there.
Can they hear us? Hello?
Let me send.
Hello?
Let me tell them to
Hello?
turn the Zoom volume.
Hello?
Oh.
Hey, Noah, I don't know if you're still there, but can you tell them to go back on Zoom? Wow,
I just told them they can turn their Zoom volume back up.
Tell them turn the Zoom volume back up. Make sure yours can.
Oh, mine's is up.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. Hello?
Turn mine down.
Hello.
Hey, Ernest. How are you?
Hey. I'm all right. How you doing?
Doing good. Latoya? Okay.
Oh, she didn't read it yet.
Oh.
Hey, Ernest, what you guys are doing is so absolutely fantastic. And
thanks. No problem.
it's we have to get more folks focused in on investments. That's the only way that we generate generational wealth. And I tell you, and I hate to say it, but in the African American community, a lot of us do not understand that. And they don't understand that just because you got $1 in your pocket today, that you just put it in, you need to put, if you got $1, you need to put away 50 cents. I mean, that's how I was taught. I mean, you put away something, you invest. I am so proud of what you guys are doing. Continue to do this, continue to grow, continue to put the message out. I believe
and that's what we're doing, and we support you like that. And it's not easy for us. That's why, like, the questionnaires, every time there's a press release or something like that, some organization, a .gov, sends us a paperwork, a package, right? Like, just in general, they question our students, right? They pull stuff that I ain't know the government can. But we're always above board and stuff like that. So, and that's why I never knew that until we've been in this business that long, right? We'll get calls from lawyers all the time in government organizations, like, hey, our books are open, like, left and right. And I mean, as long as we can continue, we're going to do it. Like Latoya mentioned, we have a lot of programs. One's called Wise Kids Invest. We're working on that. We also got the Financial Literacy Club. We have a lot of stuff that we're doing. And, like, even though we're the profit room, we are the Black day traders. So we own Black day traders, Black stock investors. We own a lot of digital real estate around Black and investing. So, but we're trying to build and build and build. We're very passionate about it. And, as we grow, we get little obstacles, but we're still trying to do the best we can. That's why I was like, I know I'm long-winded sometimes. That's why I like telling the young lady, because we get a lot of people, they just want money. They just want money. Like, practice. You got to practice first. You know what I mean? Like, get used to understanding. And that's one thing that we try to differ. So we get more of a mature client. So our client base, James, is usually 35 and older homeowners, or we get our average student who lost between $40,000 to $80,000, or our next student is between 55 to 65, who's looking to retire and replace their. So we know our clientele to the T, right? We don't get the young millennials and things like that, which we do want, but our program is all focusing on education, risk management, things of that nature. So that's been keeping us where we are today.
Well, I just want you guys to know that my wife is like executive vice. I mean, she's heavily into the SEC, FINRA. That's her job nationally. She knows the game. That's why she was not on the show tonight because she couldn't. But if you guys ever wanted some information, especially when it comes to compliance and supervision, you guys can reach out. She understands. That's what she does.
Okay, cool. I appreciate that.
So I was trying to, for as a SEC and FINRA, that's why I came up with that question, not to throw you guys off, but to let you guys know that and you already know that. But Michelle is absolutely fantastic. And if you guys ever want to reach out and ask her questions, I believe, baby, that I'm talking about questions, meaning that whatever that might be. Not that she gonna give you guys information on how to conduct your business, but just certainly.
No, we'll take whatever we can because, like I said, we've been under investigation before from the SEC, right? That because that's what they do, and we had no issue. They said, okay, you guys are in compliance, you're good, right? But there's always something. I know in the future, so whoever we can, we always need people on our team, and we understand they're in the places to protect the people, right? So, and once more we grow, we know more people question certain things of that nature, and we get students too who can't do, like we're big on student interviews. Like on our YouTube channel, we show a lot of students, and we do get people who do work on trading floors or who do work in companies with compliance. So like, okay, they can't trade stocks, but they can trade futures. So their company allows them to trade futures, right? So we understand all of that stuff, but not to the T. We don't have that much knowledge, but we've been questioned a lot with certain things and that nature. So, but our whole goal, like, is just education. That's all we want to do is just try to